Hey y'all, welcome back to the Mountain Man Podcast, Speed Week edition. It is Daytona time, baby. It is Daytona time. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. It's okay, we'll forgive you. We'll talk a little bit about Daytona, Speed Week, what it means to the Mountain Man, and the upcoming NASCAR season today. I got some other, new things going on in my life that we'll kind of highlight over. And we're just going to have a good time today. Might even talk a little bit about wine. What? Yeah, wine. So we're going to jump off right off the bat. Let me just catch y'all up with a little bit of what's going on in my life currently. I did start a new job, brand new job. Finally not stuck with that shitty ass job that I had. There's pros and cons of this. Number one, I don't get to work from home anymore. What does this mean for the Mountain Man Podcast? As so far, it doesn't mean anything. I got to record on a Saturday now instead of, whenever I have time during the week, which, excuse me, I don't think that's a big deal. Might affect my cultural relevance and how quick I am, but it's okay. We're going to still keep trying to get these out every week. We're still on YouTube. Hello, everyone on YouTube. I hope I look great today. I really don't know if I do, but I hope you're enjoying it. We're still going to be on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, everywhere else you find us. And we're going to keep growing the movement. We're going to keep growing the brand. We're going to keep doing Mountain Man shit the way that we have been, and we will continue to do so. I'm really excited. I'm going to be able to do a lot more, have a lot more free time as far as just more structure. I'm going to have a lot more structure in my life, and I think that is a good thing. So this job will be a blast. It's at a place that I've been wanting to work for a while. It's very close to where I live, and I would love to retire there if I could. So we'll see how that goes. Got a lot to learn. I will definitely say that. This is probably my third big boy job, and the other two, I've been trained a decent amount. Like there's someone here. Hey, this is how we do what we do. They show me how to do it. Current situation is they need help. They need someone to do this. There's no one there doing it now, and because of that, there's not really anybody to teach me how to do it. It's kind of like a, hey, Delph, can you do this? You can do it your way. Just do it. So we're going to see how that's going to go. I'm not afraid of a challenge, though. I ain't no bitch, so it'll be fun. It'll be really good for us, and it'll be a good time. Other stuff going on in my personal life. You'll probably see it on the Mountain Man Twitter, at Mountain Man Pod. And probably my personal Twitter as well, Delph_13. Got some homies in town this weekend. They were actually here last weekend as well. I live in the mountains. I live really close to a ski resort where people like to go and snowboard and ski and enjoy themselves. And how nice is it to have a homie that lives at the foot of the mountain? It's great for them. I have open doors all the time. It goes for anybody. Any of you listening that I've never met before, if you guys need a place to crash, I got couches. It's probably not a good idea. But that's the Mountain Man hospitality that you get around here, from me, at least. But no, I went snowboarding with them last weekend. And that went about how y'all think it would go. It was not my first time. I used to snowboard a lot. Your boy Delph used to be a skater boy way back in the day. Okay, we were skating. I wasn't the man, but like I could ride. So I picked up snowboarding naturally and used to go a good bit, but I really haven't been in a while. And that shit kicked my ass. I was dying up there. I was struggling. I was late anyway, and I finally get up there and catch up with the homies, and they're like, all right, let's ride. And they start going down, and I'm fine. Like, when I get going, it's not an issue. I don't really struggle at all with snowboarding. I mentally think that I'm going too fast, and I think, you know what? I'm a big guy. I got a lot of momentum. We're moving quickly on a constant slope, so we're just getting faster and faster. I need to slow down because if some little 12-year-old girl is learning how to ski in front of me, I'm not good enough to get around her. I'm gonna plow into her, and she's gonna get fucked up. So, I'm like, all right, I gotta slow down. So I start slowing down, trying to brake, trying to kind of slalom and weave and maintain my speed. And as soon as I try to start doing all that, I lose control. It's very natural to. I'm regular footed, so I'm left foot forward. It's natural for me to kind of turn backwards. As you turn backwards, that's kind of a natural feeling. You've staved yourself from falling backwards many, 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 many times. But when you go forward, it's different. So, people on YouTube, I'm going to try to do it with my hands. People listening, good luck. If I'm sitting there, I'm regular foot, I'm left foot forward, right? So that's your left hip. It's forward. You're looking that way. I turn to the left. I open myself up. I can go that way very easy. But when I go to cut back forward, gets a little tricky. And sometimes I cut back a little bit too much, lose my balance a little bit, boom, get the board, and it's just the slightest little bit of not having it the way you got to have it. Boom. Big man falling down. And I gotta say, it's probably funny to watch me fall, because I just kind of I'm like, all right, if I just lay here dead flat and just kind of slide until I stop, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. So that's what I do. But really, it was fun. I was having fun, but I was getting my ass kicked. I was winded up there, less oxygen, just winded. I was struggling. So I'm sitting there, catching a breather, and my friends just, come on down, get on the lift, go back up. Come on down, go up the lift. Just laps around me. So I couldn't keep up. So I did not join them on the mountain today. I let them go ahead and enjoy themselves today. But tonight, Delph's crib, out here in the mountains, we're having a bonfire, baby. We're having a bonfire. There will be plenty of bonfire content, I'm sure, on Twitter. Maybe I could put some videos up on YouTube after a while. Probably won't be anything that exciting. Let's be honest. It's just you're not that interesting, Delph. Get it together. But no, we'll have a lot of fun. I've been putting a bonfire together all week. I've been pulling branches up from all over the woods. There were already a couple brush piles in place when we bought the house, so I'm just trying to get rid of some of that. Got 2 Christmas trees I'm burning, some trash. It's gonna be a good time. Lots of fire. There's a firefighter attending the bonfire. Therefore, absolutely nothing could go wrong, and we're 100% safe, so that's good to know. And it'll be fun. But yeah, I started picking up some brush and stuff down in the back because, some of you guys have probably seen some pictures that have been tweeted before, or even on the Mountain Man Pod's Instagram page, which, by the way, if you're not following the Mountain Man Podcast Instagram, you're missing some exclusive content that's for Instagram only. You really got to get in there at Mountain Man Pod, our email, Mountain Man Pod, our Twitter at Mountain Man Pod. You get the deal. So go check out on Instagram. There's exclusive content there. Lots of pictures of these amazing hats, which, by the way, are still for sale. Please DM me if you would like to support the Mountain Man Podcast. Everybody watching on YouTube, just look at these hats. Just look at them. Look at me. Please buy my hat. Please. Look at the hat. I'm out here. I'm a rally cap this bitch today, baby. We triple stacked. Shout out to Wendy's, my man Dave, with the triple stacker. So, kind of funny, I start talking about cheeseburgers and my stomach gets to growling. Really interesting how that works out. But anyway, I'm back there, the back of the yard. All of a sudden it kind of just stops, and then boom. It's woods, right? Woods the rest of the way back. And I still haven't really figured out everything that I'm doing with the yard back there. I have plans this spring. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to get some deer coming in here. Okay? I put out blocks, corn, sweet feed, everything, apples. And I had some deer. I had deer on camera all the way up until season started, and then them bitches was gone, and all I had was them fucking bears. And no deer. So, what do you do? What do you do when all you can attract is black bear and squirrels and no deer? I'll tell you what you do. You plant shit that deer eat that bear don't. So I'm going to throw together a little bit of a mixture. Some clover, some alfalfa, some soybeans, mix up a nice little cover crop that's got a nice blend of everything going on. I'm going to till up about half an acre back there in the back. Now, my wife is listening, which she's probably not. I'm trying to buy a tractor. I really want a tractor. However, Mama needs a mom car before Dad gets his tractor. She's still driving her college car, so she gets her car first. We'll get a nice SUV for the family. By nice, 10 years old, 100,000 miles on it. That's nice in the Delph Book of Standards. But no, so tractor's coming. So until then, I got to do some other shit like tilling with just a tiller, but a whole half acre. That's not that bad. That's really not that bad. I'll make a day out of it. I'm going to till all this shit up back there because I've got this little cove, you know, like the yard opens up big and wide, and I've got big plans for this backyard, but that's going to take time. It's going to take years and years and years. We'll be here forever. It'll come. But the septic is back there. And the guy that had the house before, he thought for some reason that he couldn't even mow on top of his septic tank. Now, ideally, you don't want to drive full-size vehicles and tractors or park vehicles on top of a septic. I understand that. But a lawnmower, dude, that's not a big deal. Not to mention, since he didn't maintain this literal jungle, there were trees 10 foot high already. I'm talking, I had oaks out there that were about I just had a joke come to my head, and the Delph tweet blocker patented. The Delph tweet blocker is patented thanks to Team Delph. It just worked in my head, and I did not make that joke. That joke was inappropriate. So we had oak trees out here about as girthy. Maybe now you know where my joke was. About as girthy as a seltzer can. Everyone on YouTube is seeing what's going on. This is Bud Light seltzer, by the way. You saw some commercials for this at the Super Bowl. This is the black cherry. This shit right here is amazing. It is amazing. It is better than White Claw, all the seltzers. Bud Light seltzer. Please. Free advertising for y'all. I know y'all don't give two shits about me, but that's about big as some of these trees were. Like a seltzer can, right? So I was going out there chopping these sons of bitches down. I still got stumps I got to deal with. I'm hauling them all out. They're part of the bonfire now. But I had to clear this jungle. So now I've just got this barren wasteland that's not grass. It's just, it's a mess. And I can't really till over top of the septic tank. I'm going to have to plant something and just, kind of pray for the best, or just my whole backyard just needs loads and loads of dirt. So we'll figure that out. But anyway, cover crop. About half an acre over in this cove, and we're going to start ourselves a nice little field plot. Number one, I don't have to mow it. I can just let it grow. The deer will come eat it on their own. It'll bring in deer, rabbits, so on. Yeah, probably some other things I don't want to deal with, like snakes and groundhogs, whatever. We'll figure it out. But, I really got to start getting the deer moving through here, right? I really need to get the traffic moving, because what the fuck is the point of living next to Shenandoah National Park where nobody can hunt, but the deer can come down off the mountain to my property and I can hunt them and I don't even see any? What's the point? I don't know. So we're going to fix that. We're going to do whole feed plot. You guys can come along for the whole journey. We'll make some YouTube content out of it and we'll have a blast. So that's some things that I have planned in that backyard. And how did I get to that rabbit trail? I remember. So I was clearing brush, and back there, kind of in the line between where the food plot's going and the woods, there's a bunch of pine sprouts that have started. Now, there are already a bunch of pine sprouts. Like I said, some of the pine sprouts were probably 6 to 8 foot high in the jungle that I had to tear down. But there's a lot back here right at the edge of the woods. And it's like the perfect privacy fence has naturally begun on its own. I'm sure you guys have seen at least once in your lifetime when you go by, it doesn't even have to be a nice house. It could just be a cranky old man. But they've got a million evergreen trees just side by side the whole way across the yard. You cannot look at our house from the road. Privacy. But hey, man, I could see him from another angle around the trees because you only made one wall, dumbass. But beside the point. I'm naturally going to have a nice little wall of evergreen trees there at the back of the yard, and I'm excited for that. So I've been clearing some brush and stuff off of them to kind of encourage their growth naturally. I'm just going to kind of let them do their thing the way that God intended, and I think that they will grow just fine. This is the climate for them. I mean, that's why they're coming up on their own. There's just this massive pine tree. It's so big, it sheds its bark, and it's got its own little pile of needles and bark around it. So, 20, 30 years from now, there'll be some nice trees. There'll be some nice looking trees. So that'll be nice. So we're kind of working with that back there. But yeah, we're going to take some of that brush. We're going to have a bonfire. The boys are coming tonight. I'm roasting a pork butt right now. Going to roast some potatoes later. So when all the homies get done snowboarding, they can come on through. Boom. We can have a nice old February get together. It'll be nice. Because, there's really not a lot going on this weekend. We had the Super Bowl last weekend. Which was an exciting game that I missed because I went to bed because I had to start my new job. But congratulations to... I can't say it. I'm a Broncos fan. I can't congratulate them. I can't do it. But, now we're stuck in this weekend of limbo where the XFL is starting this weekend, and I'm excited for that. But we have a very special week coming up, ladies and gentlemen. NASCAR is back. And it all starts with the shootout. Now, I don't think I'm getting all my terminology right because it's changed a lot over the years. It used to be the Bud Shootout. Then you had the two Gatorade duels, Gatorade Twins, Gatorade 125s qualifying. And then boom, big old Daytona 500 the next Sunday. Now it is the Busch Clash, which Bud Shootout, Busch Clash, still decent. That's still pretty cool. But we don't get the Gatorade Twins, the Gatorade Duels anymore. We get Blue-Green Vacations Duel 1 at Daytona. The fuck is a Blue-Green Vacations? We're about to look this up. Bear with me. Bear with my typing. Blue-Green Vacations. Timeshare resorts in Boca Raton, Florida. Stock price plummeted 14% on Friday. Man, stock is plummeting. Let's sponsor a NASCAR qualifying race that is scheduled for Wednesday afternoon at... Oh, I'll take that back. So the duels used to be like in the middle of the day. Now they're on Thursday night. So a little bit better screen time, possibly. We'll see. But I'm excited for the Daytona 500, and I put out a tweet, kind of asking what people wanted to hear about on this episode, and it was all NASCAR, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And it's good timing. It's Speed Week. It's time for Daytona, baby. It's time for this long-ass NASCAR season. There's no other sport, not even baseball, that lasts as long. NASCAR goes from the beginning of February to the middle of November. Baseball is lucky to even reach the beginning of November. It's pretty much the end of October. And it starts in April maybe? Like, them practicing doesn't count. Like, NASCAR has real events starting this week. So it's a long ass sport. Now the guys don't do a lot, it's a once a weekend kind of thing. But I mean, you're at one track, you got to do the whole spiel. It starts on like a Wednesday or Thursday, and you're going on to the next track. So it's a long journey for them. It's gonna start this Sunday on February 9th at Daytona, and they'll be there all week. Then they'll head out west. They'll do Las Vegas. They'll do California. They'll do Phoenix. And then they'll kind of come back out. And that's when they do Atlanta. They're mixing it up a little bit this year. Homestead's usually the last race of the year. And this year, it's actually going to be pretty early. They're going to be at Homestead in Miami on March 22nd. So that's new. And there's a lot of new things for NASCAR this year. They've shuffled the tracks around. They've kind of reduced the schedule. And I'm really excited to kind of see where the sport is headed. It's been under some scrutiny. They've been dealing with some shit, you can say the ratings have gone down in sponsorships. I mean, it's a very expensive sport. NASCAR is very expensive. It's not as pricey, or it's pricier than some of these other sports. You're just burning money literally on gas, tires, everything, weekend. And, the guys crash their cars, need to repair their cars. It's a very expensive sport, and that's why it is so heavily focused on sponsorships. And I think sponsorships are a big deal, and I think it's one of the things that really gets people into NASCAR. For number one, my number one driver at the moment, I'm now a Chase Elliott stan. I've declared this. I will continue to declare it upon Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s heartbreaking retirement. I'm good. That was acting. I'm good. I'm okay. Deep down, I'm at peace. I know Junior's happy. I'm really proud of him for putting himself and his family ahead of, his head injuries. I appreciate that. This is just a fun little side note. So when we were in Key West for vacation this past summer, we were in the Keys and we drove down to Key West for one day. And I'm driving up the street. I look to my right. And out of this house comes this just beautiful family. Beautiful little baby girl. Mom is just absolutely gorgeous, hair flowing. Here comes dad, sunglasses. They're all about to head to the beach. And I'm like, wait a damn minute. Wait a damn minute. That's Junior. And I didn't want to disrupt the guy. I wasn't going to bug him. Now, I know damn well if I would have been walking up the sidewalk and said, hey, he probably would have talked to me maybe briefly. But they were just, casually walking. They live in Key West. They have a house. They're just going to walk down to eat. And I wasn't going to bug them. But he looks so happy. Dale Earnhardt Jr., you can just tell he's doing so well. He's so excited. He's being a massive pioneer for iRacing. Now, I don't know what kind of NASCAR tryhards I've got listening. A lot of people are hating on this iRacing, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to play that shit. iRacing is the only way to keep NASCAR going. It's the future of the sport. It's the future of finding talent. And it's a great way. And it's not your typical, professional video game bullshit. Sorry, YouTube can tell that I'm looking out the window. The dogs are getting a little too close to the road, but I'll let them enjoy themselves for now. iRacing really is the future because it's not just some video game. It is an actual simulation. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been doing it for 20 years. All these NASCAR drivers have been driving on iRacing for years and years and years. And it's where a lot of your biggest NASCAR racers have come from. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is famous for bringing up a lot of guys through his teams and getting them into the big show and the big spotlight. And he finds some of these guys just racing at night on iRacing. He makes friends. The guys are good. He puts them in a real car, and it just translates perfectly, and they've got it. And so I think iRacing is awesome for NASCAR. I think it's going to be a big part of NASCAR continuing on. And I'm excited to see where that goes. NBC Sports has picked up even more iRacing races this season. Coca-Cola has come in with the naming sponsorship. It's called the Coca-Cola Series. It's a big deal. So if you're not on board with iRacing, you need to get on board. It doesn't have all the components of being at a physical NASCAR race, and that's something that was brought up on Twitter. 3 selling points on why everyone should attend a NASCAR race. I will gladly jump on that. But, for iRacing, you're not going to get that aspect. But to just sit and watch on your computer, stream, wherever, TV, it's nice. It's the same kind of stuff. If you find the right streams, you can hear the drivers talking, chit-chatting. They can talk to each other. It's very realistic. It's very intense. Very close finishes. Very, very just hard racing. And I'm all for it. And I'm glad that Dale Earnhardt Jr. is pushing it so far. And, really being a pioneer of it. So I hope that can continue. But now that Junior's gone, I have the real sport. I am a Chase Elliott fan now. Upcoming NASCAR season, that's my guy. He came really close last year to getting a chance at the final shot, just barely missed it. And I think big things are in the future for him. He's been winning at road courses, super speedways everywhere. Chase Elliott, he's got a bright future, and he's just got some damn good sponsors. I mean, we're talking Hooters. We're talking Mountain Dew. I mean, Hooters and Mountain Dew, baby. What's better than that? If you're out there and you're like, Delph, I'm new to NASCAR. But I want to become a fan. And me personally, I think one of the best ways to become a fan of NASCAR is to just pick a driver and latch on to him and start rooting for him. And it'll pull you in and you'll get competitive. And then no matter what, you're going to end up hating Kyle Busch. Fuck Kyle Busch. Remember, ladies and gentlemen? But anyway, you're out there and you're like, Delph, I'm really looking for a NASCAR driver to root for. I'm looking for a new person to be a fan of. And I'm just going to tell you every time, it's Chase Elliott, baby. It's Chase Elliott. Those other guys, they're exciting. Ryan Blaney's cool. The way that they all interact now online, the way that the guys really get into it, how competitive they are. I mean, the future of NASCAR is bright, but nobody is brighter than Chase Elliott. And my 2 selling points, Delph, why do I need to be a Chase Elliott fan? I'll tell you why. There's 2 reasons. He's sponsored by Mountain Dew, and he's sponsored by Hooters. And it does not get any more fucking American than that. Okay? It's Kyle Busch. I'm sponsored by M&M's. Don't forget to go on down to the gas station and get you a pack of M&M's, guys. No. Chase Elliott, Mountain Dew, Hooters. Hell fucking yeah. End of story. So that's my boy. We'll see what he can do. I mean, there's plenty of other people that, I will cheer for. I mean, I'll pretty much pull for just about anybody except either of the Bush brothers. I mean, you guys figured that. Joey Logano, he's a bitch too. Fuck that guy. He's just a weasel. Him, Kyle Busch, they're just weasels. I don't know. I don't like them. I like Hooters, and I like Mountain Dew, so I like Chase Elliott. So that's my personal prediction for the upcoming season. I also think that for Kevin Harvick, this is his year to lose. I think that he's just showed promise year after year lately, and he's definitely one of the best right now, one of the most elite. So we'll see what he can do. But deep down in my heart, I want to see that Hooters car go across the finish line time and time again. But I want to jump over to what one of our followers on Twitter, Brian, brought up on the Mountain Man Pod Twitter account. He said, I want 3 selling points on why everyone should attend a NASCAR race. It's pretty easy. I don't even know if I could really chop it down into 3. I think I'm just going to kind of just go on about it for a little while. By the way, YouTube, I just noticed my top button was buttoned. And that was really bad. Like, you can't do that on one of these shirts. So I apologize. I fixed it. 3 selling points on why everyone should attend a NASCAR race. There is just so much going on at an actual NASCAR race that it's hard to describe. So I think the number one thing that I would say is for your first NASCAR race, it needs to be a night race. Now, some people be like, whoa, Delph, you're asking a lot out of people to handle a night race. No, I'm expecting a lot out of my fans. If y'all are real mountain men, come on. If you want to be a mountain man, you got to be able to handle a night race. You got to be able to handle a night race under the lights, and I'll tell you why. So, number one, you get there at the ass crack of dawn, and you start drinking. Some people bring in an RV and park in the infield. Some people get a hotel and come over to a parking lot for the day. One of the best things to do is just have a group of people. You got to have like a nice, solid group of people. Maybe you have a camper or 2. Get posted up in a parking lot close to the facility. You might pay a shit ton for parking, but whatever. Just be close to the track. Start making friends. Start cooking breakfast. Start drinking beer. Start having a great time. 7 a.m. all day. Lunch comes. Eat lunch. Keep drinking. Walk over the track. Buy some memorabilia like Hooters hats and Mountain Dew hats, because we're fucking Chase Elliott fans over here, baby. Go over to the track, buy some shit, listen to what's going on, head back on over, keep drinking. Now it's time to go to the race. Oh my, what are we going to do? Oh, get your cooler, fill it up with beer, and you can take it into the fucking track with you. Name a sport. Name something you can do where you get to bring an entire fucking cooler on your own with you. An entire cooler. You want to sneak in moonshine? Do it. You want to bring in 2 cases of Budweiser? Do it. You want to pack some bologna and a loaf of bread and some cheese? Do it. I mean, you need to bring a snack. You got to bring a snack. Peanuts, whatever. And some water. But I'm telling y'all, you go to an NFL game, excuse me, you need to have a clear plastic bag where everything is visible, which, I mean, at NASCAR you do too, but no outside food and beverage, no bottles of water, no peanuts. You may not bring anything into here. Now, baseball games, it's kind of cool how, like, they'll just let you stuff your pockets with shit if you want to, but there is nothing like a NASCAR race where you get to bring in your own fucking cooler. Tell me something better than that, and I'm gonna start doing it. That is just that's top of the line. That is top of the line. And that would probably be my number one selling point is you can literally take your own alcohol in there with you. So you don't have to go to this Dave Matthews concert and spend $11 for a tall boy of Mick Ultra. You can literally go to the gas station, buy a 30 rack of... We don't speak of Bush anymore. I forgot. Buy a 30 rack, load up your cooler with it, and take it in there and get pissed drunk at the NASCAR race. It's amazing. It's amazing. Point number 2. People watching. So another cool thing about a night race, about drinking all day, being pissed drunk, taking your own alcohol in there at the end of the day, everyone else that's there is doing the exact same thing. They're imagine 50-year-old people. Close your eyes. If you're driving, don't. Keep your eyes open. If you're watching me on YouTube, close your eyes. Think of a type of individual. This is like my mom's entire friend group. Think of a man. He's not fully gray yet. He's got dark hair. It's going gray. He might have a beard. It's probably just kind of like a goatee. Might, if you're really lucky, a mustache. His hair, he's either going bald and he's got a hat on, or he's still got like I'm putting my hair back, but it's not really a mullet type of deal. Chances are he's in jean shorts. He's in jorts. And he's wearing a cut-off t-shirt of one of his favorite drivers. Might still be a Dale Earnhardt Sr. shirt. And yeah, Air Monarchs on the feet. 100% every time. So he's there. And he's got his honey, and she's wasted. His wife, or the old-ass lady he met outside of the bathrooms on the way in the track, she's wasted. She's got sunglasses. Very tan skin that's also extremely wrinkly and leathery because all she does is put on tanning oil and sit outside every day. She's got a voice that's probably deeper than his because she smokes 3 packs of cigarettes a day. You know, got her hair in a ponytail, wearing a cut-off t-shirt or a tank top, some jean shorts, and some tennis shoes herself. And she's one of those, "Hey, sweetie. Oh, bless your heart. Thanks, honey." So there's that couple. Now, everyone, you can think of that stereotypical couple. Here they are at the NASCAR race with their headset on, their scanner. Now, you can listen to the drivers talking. You can just kind of cancel out the noise of the cars, or you could listen to the radio, whatever you want. And this is what I'm telling you right now. I've watched this. That's why I've got the details down. You look up, the race is going on, boom, boom, boom. They're on like lap 200. It's a night race, remember, so it's probably a short track. You're having a great time. And corner of your eye, you just see this old-ass couple just making out. Just sex with the clothes on. Listening to music, hands in the air, just dancing. And then just out of nowhere, she's got her leg all hiked up around him. I mean, they're grinding on each other like 2 ninth graders at their first homecoming dance when Lil Jon and the East Side Boys come on. I mean, these two are going at it. You're sitting there and you're like, oh my God. Like, am I watching HBO at 3 a.m. in 2006? It whoo! Gets a little steamy out there. All right? It's getting a little steamy. And they're just all over each other. And you know what? Nobody bothers them. Everyone watches. Everyone makes fun of them, but nobody bothers them. If they were doing that shit at a football game, they get escorted out by security. You're grinding all over your leathery 55-year-old Harley driving third husband. Nobody cares. Enjoy your evening. So that'd probably be point 2, would be the people watching. There's a lot of people watching. You get to see all kinds of drunk rednecks fighting with each other. I mean, there's no better people Walmart's good people watching. The airport's good people watching. But a NASCAR race, that's good people watching, ladies and gentlemen. I will say that. Third selling point. Really, it's just, I just think it's a rite of passage in America. And I mean, you can sit there and be like, oh, NASCAR is a dumb redneck sport. Look at them. Hell yeah, raise hell and praise Dale and fuck Kyle Busch. I love me some NASCAR. That's probably what y'all like. There's a guy out there who listens to this podcast and his girlfriend's like, what the fuck is the Mountain Man podcast? And that's how he that's his impression of me. And if you do that, fuck you. No, but really, It's just, you got to do it. You got to do it. Everyone needs to go to at least one NASCAR race in their life. If I could jump out and suggest some races that would be good for people to go to, without question, the Memorial Day race, the Sunday night race at Charlotte is a great one. I think it's still the Coca-Cola 600 or Coke Zero or whatever it is. That's a good one. That's an all weekend thing. You really got some stamina for that. I always prefer the Richmond night race. It's gotten a little yuppie as of late. A lot of fucking people there that don't belong to be there. But I'm not going to be elitist or classist about my NASCAR races. But you can tell the people are just like, oh, guys, we should leave our comfortable, expensive-ass Northern Virginia apartments for the weekend and go to Richmond for a NASCAR race. Same motherfuckers that used to have Yeehaw Week or Yeehaw Day during Spirit Week in high school and cut the sleeves off of their flannel shirts and thought they were rednecked out. You can just tell who's never watched NASCAR before a day in their lives. But you know what? They're there to party. We don't judge. We mind our business at the NASCAR races. Bristol's a good one, of course. That just goes without question. I know I'm being pretty regional to my area, so if I could think of people that are listening, well, shit, I have shipped Mountain Man hats all over the place. So I've sent a few to California. If I were you guys, if you could get to Phoenix for a race, I know that's not the closest, but Phoenix would be a good one. Or Sonoma. I hear Sonoma's a good time. Las Vegas is a good race, too. I've got people down Texas, Louisiana. I don't think you guys get a lot of options, do you? You pretty much got the track that's at Fort Worth, which is pretty much a super speedway, but I'm sure that's a great time. Talladega. Talladega's a great one. If you can get to Talladega, that is an amazing, amazing, amazing time. And then this one's kind of new. Martinsville used to be a day race, and the cool thing about Martinsville is the hot dogs and the fried chicken, but Martinsville now has lights. I know that because my cousin got to race in the first race under the lights. He missed my wedding to do so, and I was not mad because it is in our blood. But Martinsville has lights now, and I think that the Cup race this year, one of them at least, will be under the lights. And I think that would be Martinsville's there's some fucking rednecks in Martinsville, let me tell you. Martinsville and Richmond are both in the same state, but there are very different crowds at those two races. So you should definitely check some of them out. But also, if anyone has any NASCAR questions and you need some suggestions, holler at me on Twitter. Holler at me on my personal Twitter at Delph_13. I'd be happy to help. Also, you can always email me, mountainmanpod@gmail.com. If you just want to send some hate mail, or if you want to get your 2 cents in, want to leave me a voicemail, let me know. But no, I'd be happy to help. I love growing the sport of NASCAR. I will always be pro NASCAR. I will always critique it when I think it needs to be critiqued. I think it's in good hands now that France is gone, and not the country, an owner. I know that people are like, what the fuck? When was France in NASCAR? The owner. There was a commissioner, whatever the fuck his title would be. He was an alcoholic, so it's in good hands now. It really is, and I'm really excited to see what happens, and I'm really excited for the Daytona 500 this weekend. I think by the time this episode will come out, it'll be like Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday, hopefully not. Can't just, I'm not great at this whole editing thing yet, but we're getting there, and hopefully, I know it took me almost 40 minutes to apologize for my audio on the last episode. Hopefully I'm louder today. Hopefully I'm not too loud. And if I'm not quiet enough, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mountain Man Podcast. I will never do ASMR. That is not for me. So I'm supposed to talk about wine, but we are running out of time. But we're going to talk about wine anyway, because who gives a fuck, baby? So probably talk about wine a lot. The only reason I wanted to bring it up today is because I saw a picture of another Mountain Man hat that somebody had. I'm not just trying to be annoying and just continue to plug this product that I'm selling that would directly support everyone's favorite podcast, the Mountain Man Podcast. By the way, hats are available. Look at that. Thank you, Ricky Prosper. No, so I shipped a hat to a guy, and everyone that's gotten hats, they are tweeting pics of these hats. And I love it. Please keep doing that. Everywhere you take them. Tweet. 2 glasses of wine or 2 carafe, blah, blah, 2 containers of wine. Is it carafe? Is it carafe? I really hope nobody's roasting me right now. I don't give a fuck what it is. Anyway, he's got white wine, he's got red wine, and he was talking about Mountain Man hat wine, blah, 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 blah. I like wine. I'm a big wine guy. I love wine. Ask my wife. When we go to the beach in the summer, there's at least one day during the week where I wake up. Dave Ruff from Circling Back Podcast, shout out to those guys. I'll never forget, I sent him a Snapchat one year. You know, Dylan and Will, they don't use Snapchat anymore, but Dave still gets on there just to kind of open mind sometimes. Bless his heart. I sent him a Snapchat. I literally just had this big-ass Yeti. And I had this big-ass bottle of Pinot Grigio. That's probably my favorite wine. It's Pinot Grigio. It's weird, right? White wine. Ice, baby. So I put some ice in this Yeti. Take the cap of that Pinot Grigio. Flick. And I just dumped the whole fucking bottle of Pinot Grigio into this cup on a Tuesday morning at about 9 o'clock. And then it didn't all make it in the cup. It's like, you know, so much left in the bottle. So then I just turned it up, chugged the whole thing, and Dave just replies back. He said, "Good God." I love Pinot Grigio. And when I have Pinot Grigio, I have to have the whole bottle, like no more, no less. And honestly, you know, not to get all basic white girl on y'all, but wine drunk is just a totally different type of drunk. But everybody knows that, especially the guys that aren't used to getting wine drunk. You fuck around, you get drunk on wine, you're like, oh my God, like this is what I've been missing this whole time. I love to get drunk on Pinot Grigio. I'll do it at the beach, just day drink off of it with some ice, and I'm golden. It's smooth, it's refreshing, it's easy, it gets me wasted. One time I accidentally bought like the really big bottle because it was on sale, and I had that whole bottle, and I was like on the tailgate of my truck like 12:30, like oh gosh, like it was not going well. Some of my homies that listen that were at Memorial Day weekend, hey Delph, you doing okay? Yeah, I'm fine, but the wine got me again. So that's my favorite wine. However, you know, if I'm drinking if I'm drinking a red wine, I'd like to do it when I'm eating a steak. And I don't really care what type of red wine it is. I'd say probably what's it? Cab Sauv, is that this abbreviation? Cabernet Sauvignon. But I like to, you know, get the red wine in the glass. You swirl it up a little bit, you put it up. You inhale that shit. Swirl it some more, and then you gotta kind of like slurp that shit. You gotta get the. If anyone's like an actual wine snob, I'm so sorry if I'm just butchering all my terms and everything. But you gotta oxygenate. You gotta get the oxygen bubbles in the wine. So while you just take the sip, you gotta slurp some air in there, kind of swish it around in the mouth a little bit. Boom, you got oxygenated wine, and then boom, that alcohol hits your tongue. Your taste buds just open up, just open wide, open wide. Swallow it, wait 5-10 seconds, and then take a bite of a medium rare steak. Whew. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing what red wine can do to your taste buds when you're eating a steak. It truly phenomenal. But if I'm getting plastered, I'm drinking Pinot Grigio. Simple as that. Unless my wife and I are splitting a bottle of wine, and we'll just, whatever we got, we'll split it. That's always fun too. So I'd love to talk more about wine, but I think we are going to have to wrap up the podcast. Maybe someday in the future we'll have a wine snob on here by the name of Will DeFries. I don't know. I'm name dropping. I know we don't have a lot of crossover people, but for some of the fans that are out there, there are some guests in the horizon, one of which got me my start in the media business. Big dog. I'm not gonna. I don't want to say too much, but I do like to tease. Got a high profile guest who will be joining the Mountain Man podcast very soon. Maybe even next episode. Probably in a couple. The dude loves Peroni. He loves He loves Duncanville High School. He loves the Dallas Mavericks. And he's funny as shit. So he'll be on here soon if everyone knows who I'm talking about. Don't bother the guy. But if you guys can think of things that you would like to hear me and him talk about, please let me know. Message me, whatever it is. And I'm sure that episode will be iconic. So again, everyone, thank you for listening so much. Thank you to everyone. There are tens upon tens of people who have purchased a Mountain Man hat. If you haven't, I do have plenty left. I have plenty left. They're for sale. I will ship them right to you. They will get there very quickly, and you will enjoy it. It's a great hat. Please. And if you already got one and you're trying to think of someone else that might enjoy it, buy them a hat. Shit. But also, for people that don't wear hats, we do have t-shirts on the horizon. They are coming soon. I, of course, need to sell a couple more hats before I buy all them shirts. But they're coming. They're going to be spectacular. Again, amazing artwork by Ricky Prosper. I'm really sad. I was supposed to be hanging out with Ricky this week. At my last job, I was getting sent to Atlanta for the whole week. And I left the job, so I didn't get to go to Atlanta. And thus, I didn't get to chill with my man Ricky. So hopefully we will get up soon. But to everyone that's been listening, watching on YouTube, wherever you are, please subscribe. Everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're going to do some giveaways as we continue to grow the following there. And tell everybody you know. Tell them to listen to the Mountain Man Podcast. If they see your hat, say, hey, this is the Mountain Man Podcast. Ask them if they want a hat, but just mostly tell them to listen. Tell them to listen. But again, everyone, thank you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. The rest of your week. Enjoy the Daytona 500 this weekend. It is finally NASCAR time again. And if you cheer for Kyle Busch, fuck you. Other than that, I'll holler at y'all later.